sent down a proposed amendment to the charter, which would proceed as a special act if it proceeds out of this body. We need to call for a public hearing because under our rules, amendments to the charter require public hearings. So I'm going to ask at the council meeting for a public hearing on February 15th, all right? I'll probably ask the solicitor to come and speak to the council, and then of course whoever else wants to come speak on the topic. So I wanted to apprise you of that situation. And then I thought while we were here, I would just take a couple of minutes and read in the proposed language. Any comments or questions so far, Councilor Bennett?
No comments, thank you.
Okay, good. All right. So if you don't mind, I'll read in the language. I gave you, before the meeting started, a document that contained the language from the mayor's communication, specifically his statement about why this is necessary, and then the proposed language. I'm only going to read into the record the proposed language, okay? So there's a motion to amend the charter, section 3-8A. The language proposed is as follows. Vacancy in office of mayor, special election. Motion to petition the general court to enact the following legislation to amend the Attleboro City Charter by amending section 3-8A of the Attleboro City Charter, vacancy of office of mayor, special election, provided that the legislature may reasonably vary the form and substance of the requested legislation within the scope of the general public objectives of the petition. An act to amend section 3-8A, vacancy in the office of mayor, special election. Be it enacted by the Senate and House of Representatives in general court assembled and by the authority of the same as follows. Section 1, section 3-8A, vacancy in the office of mayor, special election. A, special election. If a vacancy occurs in the office of mayor by death, resignation, removal from office, failure to elect or otherwise at any time preceding the last 9 calendar months of the term for which the mayor was elected, the municipal council shall forthwith call a special election to fill such vacancy for the remainder of the unexpired term. Additionally, if a vacancy occurs in the office of mayor before the last 9 calendar months of the term for which the mayor was elected, the clerk of the council shall forthwith call a special meeting of the municipal council, and the municipal council shall, by majority vote of the full council, taken by a roll call, elect one of its members as mayor until a new mayor is elected by the people and sworn into office. Section 2, this act shall take effect upon its passage. Okay, so we've fulfilled our obligation in that regard. We'll postpone discussion about the particular issue until after the public hearing, but is there anything else in the ordinance committee minutes that you have any questions about or want to discuss at this point?
Not at this time.
All right, thank you, Council Bennett. Then I would entertain a motion to adjourn at 6:33.
So moved.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, meeting adjourned at 6:33. Thank you very much.
At this time, I'd like to call the Traffic and Transportation Committee to order at 6:34. With me, I have Councilor Reynolds. Councilor Reynolds, are you on the line?
Councilor Bennett, may I interject? Did you call this meeting? It was called?
This is for, oh, I'm so sorry. This is for, my apologies, this is for public safety and emergency management,
right.
not traffic and transportation. I'll start over. I call the Public Safety and Emergency Management Committee to order at 6:34.
I am here.
Thank you, Councilor Reynolds. At this time, Councilor Blair is not available this evening, so I will be reading out his motion. We have one item for the committee. With me is just Councilor Reynolds, attending remotely. From the docket of January 4th, 2022, I entertain a motion to appropriate $18,250.95 from account 1000-359 000, undesignated fund balance, free cash, general government, to account 121-01000-515030, police sick leave incentive to pay contractual sick leave stipend.
Second.
I do not have the background on this. I believe this is just a contractual requirement, and it appears that, so this is all for the police sick leave incentive. I believe we had one of these last meeting as well. Are there any questions or discussion? Councilor Reynolds, would you like to make any comments?
I have none. It's actually contractual, as you said.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so at this time, I'll take a vote. All those in favor? Aye. Motion passes. That concludes the business for the Public Safety and Emergency Management Committee. I move to adjourn at 6:36.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned at 6:36.
Hey, do we need to do it again at 6:45?
always the longest minute of the night.
Yeah. What's that?
See the planning
Always the longest minute of the night.
Yeah. There we go. Why does this look different?
I would like to call this meeting of the Municipal Council to order. Please join me in a salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. So for those who are in chambers with us, if you're more comfortable removing your mask as we are socially distant, please feel free to do so. We have no minutes to approve tonight. We have several public hearings, so we'll jump right into those. Madam Clerk, would you please read the notice for the first public hearing?
Sure. For the first public hearing, a joint hearing with the Planning Board regarding to discuss proposed amendment to Ordinance 17-3.3, prohibited use to include a definition for commercial vehicle.
Thank you. We will be asking for people who are in favor, those who are against, and those who are neither nor for or against. At this time, we'll ask for anyone who's in favor of this particular ordinance. Mr. Asian, welcome.
Good evening, Council President, members of the Municipal Council, Planning Board members, and members of the Planning Board. For the record, my name is Gary Eurasian. I'm the city's Director of Planning and Development. Before I begin, I just want to wish everyone a happy and healthy new year. And my staff and I look forward to working with the council this coming year on several new planning initiatives.
Mutual.
Thank you. So having said that, I'm here tonight to speak in favor of the amendment to Section 17-3.3 prohibited uses. This involves another amendment, if you may, to Chapter 10 of the ordinances with respect to the definition of commercial vehicles. So without getting into the rationale for that, because I know that's not necessarily the subject of this amendment, I understand that Municipal Council wants to break out Section 17-3.3 prohibited uses into two sections, keeping subsection, the existing language as Section A, and introducing Section B. Without getting into the mechanical aspects of it, because you could all read it, you know what it's for, and for purposes of brevity, my only comments are this. I think it's well-written, I understand the intent, I understand the purpose, I have no issues of it. We'll administer it with Mr. McDonough. My only, I shouldn't say concern, I think we need to add a little more language. The way this is written, this is talking about vehicles, or private vehicles, commercial vehicles, in a residential zoning district. I just want to bring to your attention that the only land uses in the residential zoning district are not residences. There are other uses, whether by right or by special permit, that are also in the residential zoning district, whereby a commercial vehicle is customarily associated with that. For example, in any residential zoning district, whether it's single residence or general residence, A, B, C, D, E, or ABC, other by right uses are agriculture and horticultural uses. Those uses by nature have tractors and other vehicles that are commercial in nature. So the way I read this, that would be precluded. Another element that I want to bring to the council and to the planning board's attention, I brought these already to the planning board, is in a residential zoning district, the Zoning Board of Appeals may, not shall, may, as part of a home occupation special permit, may allow for a commercial vehicle to be parked on the premises in a residential zoning district. So what I want to submit to the council, without getting into the mechanics or the language tonight, again, I support the language as written. All I would consider a request of the council and Mr. McDonough, my staff, I'm sure with the planning board, we can offer some language that I think you've got A and B. Excuse me. Yeah, you've got an A and a B. We may want to include a C or a C and a D that protects those uses in a residential zone that are non-residential, whereby a commercial vehicle is customarily associated with it, Again, the example being an agricultural use. And also to give the zoning board of appeals the continued discretion to allow, as part of a home occupation permit, to allow with that special permit, if it deems appropriate, a commercial vehicle as part of that home occupation.
Do we have any questions for Mr. Orasian? All right, seeing none. Vice President Cobus.
Thank you, Gary, for coming out. And just to confirm, and I'm pretty sure I know the answer to this, but can you confirm that this does address tow trucks, for example, and would prohibit large tow trucks from parking in residential areas?
Well, I don't know if it's large or small, but I think it addresses the issue of the tow truck.
Perfect. And I
And I know,
know,
again, I know we didn't get into the definition yet. I don't know which one comes first, but having read that already, in anticipation of that, with that in mind, I think it does.
perfect, thank you.
Thank you.
I have a question as well, Mr. Asian. On that same question, just expanding on that, just to clarify, under the current definition of commercial vehicle, would it include those tow trucks?
We don't have one now.
We do not have one.
No.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions for Mr. Orasian? All right, Gary, thank you as always.
Thanks, Gary.
Thank you.
Do we have anyone else to speak in favor?
Good evening, council members, planning board. Bill McDonough, building inspector. I really just want to echo what Gary said, same page as him. We spoke about this a little earlier. And to piggyback on that, he mentioned the uses of like horticultural or agricultural. There's also like Dover-amended things like churches, schools that are also in those locations, and so they might also fall into that as well. I just want to come if there was any other questions. I know we're going to get into the definition, and there might be more questions as far as that goes. So I will be here to speak on that as well. But I also just wanted to see if there was anybody who had any questions for me.
Do we have any questions for Mr.
Because
McDonough?
Gary could have answered them, but just wanted to make sure I can say that I am in favor. I am in favor of this overall, because like Gary said, it is good language, it's needed language, and I do think it's something that we need to implement.
Terrific, thank you. Vice President Cobus.
Would it be safe to say that this, having clear definitions like this will help you do your job? I know we've talked in the past.
Yeah, absolutely. We have had the discussions in the past. It's a strange little slippery slope in some areas, but it's slippier, it's more slippy.
Okay.
Right. When we don't have a definition for it. It does amaze me at some point of some vehicles that some people think that they have a right to just be able to park in their yard, and it's hard to enforce that when I don't have anything to really go by. So this would make it much easier.
Vice President Cobus.
And aside from the agricultural vehicles, are there any other things that you'd like to see included in this that is
No, I
not
think
currently
that,
included?
I think the wording, and it wouldn't be specific to agriculture and things like that. I think it would be wording of such that would say that it wouldn't pertain to uses that are legal in that may not be residential in nature, but are legal in the non-residential uses legal in a residential zone.
Got it.
Could
Okay.
be by legal non-conforming, could be by special permit, could be by Dover amendment, that could be, so there is, and that can get tightened up. It's not as convoluted as it might sound. It could actually be tightened up. It's just one of those things that when it would come up, like in other ordinances that we put together, we don't see it right away, and then all of a sudden it comes by my desk, and I'm like, oh, wait, we didn't figure this one out, but we amend it later. So I think that catching it now is probably a good thing.
Councilor Conti.
Thank you, Mr. President. Bill, if this ordinance is passed, I don't recall there being any grandfather clause in the ordinance. So if it should pass, the restrictions would be across the board. Is that correct? Is my understanding correct?
Yes,
Thank you.
that's my understanding, absolutely.
Any other questions for Mr. McDonough? All right, Bill, thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else to speak in favor? Mr. Jones, do we have anyone on Zoom who's here to speak in favor?
No.
Okay. Do we have anyone here to speak against? Anyone to speak against? Mr. Jones, anyone on the Zoom?
No.
Okay. Do we have anyone neither for nor against? Anyone neither for nor against? And Mr. Jones, anyone on the Zoom?
Not for this public hearing.
All right, thank you. Councilor DeSimone, do you see a need to keep this public hearing open?
No, I do not, thank you.
All right, we declare this closed. And Madam Clerk, would you like to read the notice for the second public hearing, please?
Sure. Public hearing to discuss a proposed amendment to City Ordinance 10-5.13, limited for commercial vehicles and trailers.
Do we have anyone to speak in favor?
Good evening again. Bill McDonough, Building Inspector. Again, this is directly related with the last public hearing we were just talking about. This would be the definition that we don't have currently in the ordinances. And like I've stressed in the past, I've been looking for a definition for commercial vehicles for quite some time. Not because I want to be the bad guy going out and doing it, but I have to do my job, and to be able to do my job effectively, these are the tools that I really need to have, because, you know, you don't want to, just going off my word of what a commercial vehicle is, it can get convoluted and turned around, and I just want to be, you know, I just want to be on the same page as the city, as far as that goes. I mean, it's been working, you know,
Yep.
but it has been arduous at best. I know that, you know, we don't have to go through each and every one of these, but I do, like I said, we've gone through these, Council DeSimone, myself, and with Gary, Mr. Asian, and I think we've really kind of pinned it down to a fair and good definition.
Excellent. Any questions for Mr. McDonough? Any questions for Mr. McDonough? Okay. Thank you, Bill.
Thanks.
Do we have anyone else to speak in favor?
Good evening, Council President, members of the council. For the record, my name is Gary Rajan, again, the city's Director of Planning and Development, here to speak in favor of the proposed amendment to the ordinances. My comments are brief. I think it's well-written. I think it's thorough. I think it's long overdue. I recall Councilor Conti years ago made an effort to write such an ordinance, and I can't remember now, for one reason or another, it never got adopted, but this has been around for a while. Touche to Councilor Conti and touche to the current councils who wrote this. I think we should get this on the book. I'm in support of it. I guess my only question, whether it needs to be explicitly stated, what I inferred from Mr. McDonough's comments is that he would be the enforcing authority. I don't know if you may want to add some language that talks about who would be the enforcing authority. If not, that's fine, but that's the only thing that kind of jumped out at me, so.
For some clarification, of course.
Yeah, because it's under Chapter 10, which is parking, it would be under the Attleboro Police Department. That's my
Okay.
understanding.
Oh, okay, yep, that's a good, yep,
Yep.
all right.
Great, thank you. Any questions for Mr. Orasian? All right, thank
Thank
you,
you.
Gary.
Thank you, Gary.
Anybody else to speak in favor? Anybody else to speak in favor? Mr. Jones, anyone on Zoom?
For this public hearing.
All right, thank you. Anybody to speak against? Anybody to speak against? Mr. Jones?
Not for this public hearing.
All right, thank you. Anyone neither for nor against? Anyone neither for nor against? And Mr. Jones, one last time.
Not for this public hearing.
All right, thank you. And Councilor DeSimone, do you need to keep this public hearing open?
I do not, thank you.
All right, it is considered closed. Madam Clerk, can you read the notice for the third public hearing?
Public hearing regarding waiving of building permit fees for the roof replacement for Fire Department Headquarters and Briggs Corner Fire Station.
And do we have anyone to speak in favor? Anyone to speak in favor? Mr. Jones, anyone on Zoom?
Not for this public hearing.
Thank you. Do we have anyone to speak against? Anyone to speak against? Mr. Jones?
Not for this public hearing.
Thank you. Do we have anyone neither for nor against? Anyone neither for nor against? Mr. Jones?
Not for this public hearing.
Council Reynolds, do you see a need to keep this public hearing open?
No, I do not.
All right, thank you. We'll consider that closed. And Madam Clerk, do you mind reading the hearing for the the notice for the fourth public hearing, please?
Public hearing regarding a requested amendment of Section 10-5.2A of the revised ordinances of Attleboro to prohibit parking on westerly side of Stobbs Drive.
Thank you. Do we have anyone to speak in favor?
Good evening. My name is Al Svensson, 301 Pike Avenue in Attleboro, and I'm also the vice principal at Bishop Ian High School. I'm just speaking in favor of it. I guess from my standpoint, it would greatly increase safety on Stobbs Drive for the road itself. We do have some students that park out there, but we also have adults show up for softball games, soccer games that are out there. At times for the football games, mainly Attleboro or North Attleboro, we have it there. So right now with parking on both sides, it can be a dangerous situation. So I really think it'd be a great idea and appreciate the work that's been done for this.
Great. Thank you for coming out tonight, Mr. Swenson. Do we have any questions for Mrs. Swenson? All right, thank you very much.
Thank you for coming.
Do we have anyone else to speak in favor? Mr. Jones?
Councilor Dean, Sam Folin would like to speak at the public hearing, but I haven't been able to ascertain from her whether she's for or against.
Great.
So could you provide a little leeway there?
100% yes. Ms. Folin, good evening.
Hello.
Good evening.
Hi, how are you?
Doing well, thanks.
I think he's right, that street's very dangerous to drive over. There's parking on both sides. People come, trying to go through it, it's terrible. You need to keep it on one side, please.
Okay. Do we have any questions for Ms. Folin? All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Do we have anybody else in favor? Anybody else in favor? Do we have anyone against? Do we have anyone against? Do we have anyone neither for nor against? Do we have anyone neither for nor against? Okay, seeing none. Council Reynolds, would you like to declare this public hearing is closed?
Yes, I would.
Thank you very much. And before we move on, I forgot to ask on the first public hearing if the chair of the planning board thinks we should keep this open or close it. So I apologize. Does the chair of the planning board think that we should keep the first public hearing open?
No, first off, President Felicio, no worries. It's Jason Giddle, Chairman of the Planning Board. No, we don't see a reason to keep it open.
All right, Jason, thank you, I appreciate it. All right, and that is the last public hearing for tonight. Planning Board, thank you for your help, and have a nice night.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, we will now go into a reading of the mayor's communication. Madam Clerk?
Thank you, Mr. President. January 18th, 2022. Dear municipal councilors. Number one, I respectfully submit a communication from Director of Budget and Administration, Jeremy Stoll, requesting to amend 10-8 monthly parking, amended 10-1, 2013, in the revised ordinance of the City of Attleboro.
Ordinances, and Councilor DeSimone, would you like to call for a public hearing on the 15th?
Yes, please.
Okay. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right. All those in favor, we'll do a roll call vote, starting with Counselor Waterman.
Counselor Waterman.
Here.
The vote is on a public hearing for February 15th.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
Counselor Dolan.
Yes.
Counselor Conti.
Yes.
Counselor Bennett.
Yes.
Vice President Cobus.
Yes.
Counselor Holmes.
Yes.
Counselor Reynolds.
Yes.
Counselor Angelo.
Yes.
Counselor DeSimone.
Yes.
President Delicio.
Yes.
Motion passes.
President Delicio, just for the record and respectfully, I don't believe we took attendance at the beginning of the meeting.
I believe we do that when we're 100% Zoom.
Okay.
Thank you. So motion passes.
I missed this one. Okay. Number 2, I respectfully submit a communication from Director of Recreation Dennis Walsh regarding the need for funds to purchase a John Deere 1600 Series 3 mower. This equipment will replace a 2000 John Deere large span mower. A 5% contingency has been added to this request. Therefore, I hereby request your honorable body to appropriate $61,776.75 from account 1000-359-000 undesignated fund balance free cash general government to account 1630100-585046 recreation mower. Copies in your packet.
DPW?
I respectfully submit a communication from Director of Recreation Dennis Walsh regarding the need for funds for the Willett Field renovations and irrigation project. This project will include leveling the playing surface, adding topsoil, and the installation of an irrigation system and a well. A 10% contingency has been added to this request. Therefore, I hereby request your honorable body to appropriate $48,400 from account 1000-359-000 undesignated fund balance free cash general government to account 1100-630-584010 continuing appropriation rec site improvements. Copies in your packet.
Capital improvement?
I respectfully submit a communication from Superintendent of Public Works, Michael Tyler, regarding the needs for funds to purchase 16 new solar power speed radar signs. A 10% contingency has been added to this request. Therefore, I hereby request your honorable body to appropriate $70,171.84 from account 100-359-000 undesignated fund balance free cash general government to account 1420100-585083 Public Works radar sign systems. Copies in your packet.
DPW?
I respectfully submit a communication from Superintendent of Public Works Michael Tyler regarding the needs for funds to purchase 6 new solar-powered crosswalk systems. A 10% contingency has been added to this request. Therefore, I hereby request your honorable body to appropriate $62,312.98 from account 1000-359-000 undesignated fund balance free cash general government to account 1420-1000-585082 Public Works crosswalk systems. Copies in your packet.
DPW?
I respectfully submit a communication from Superintendent of Public Works Michael Tyler regarding the need for additional funds to purchase a new truck-mounted berming gravel thrower. As you know, on December 21st, 2021, your honorable body voted an appropriation of $10,695 for this purchase. However, when placing the order, DPW was informed that the manufacturer has since increased the purchase price. Therefore, I hereby request your honorable body to transfer $2,055 from account 1124100-578300 citywide reserve fund for transfer to account 1420100-585040 Public Works equipment. Upon approval, the available balance in reserve fund for transfer to include any pending requests will be $38,668.26. Copies in your packet.
DPW?
I respectfully submit a communication from Superintendent of Park and Forestry, Derek Corsi, regarding the needs for funds for pest extermination at the old animal shelter. Therefore, I hereby request your honorable body to transfer $1,085 from account 112-41000-578300 Citywide Reserve Fund for transfer to account 1292100-5240011 Animal Control Maintenance of Buildings. Upon approval, the available balance in the reserve fund for transfer to include any pending requests will be $37,583.26. Copies in your packet.
DPW, please.
I respectfully submit a communication from Elections Officer Manager Cheryl Perry regarding the need to transfer funds to purchase 10 Franklin 4-station voting booths to replace existing voting booths that are beyond repair. Therefore, I hereby request your honorable body to transfer $9,479 from account 1162100-531020 Elections Police to account 1162100-542020 Elections Supply Election Equipment. Additionally, a transfer is needed to purchase 4 heavy-duty storage shelving units to store miscellaneous election supplies at the Elections Annex. Therefore, I hereby request your honorable body to transfer $556 from account 1162100-531020 Elections Police to account 1162100-542020 Election Supplies Election Equipment. Copies in your packet.
Thank you. City Property and Claims, please.
Thank you. I respectfully submit a communication from Director of Council on Aging, Melissa Tucker, regarding a grant that has been awarded from the Massachusetts Council on Aging Service Incentive Grant in the amount of $7,719. This grant will be used for outreach and marketing materials. No matching funds are required by the city. In accordance with Chapter 1, Section 12 of Revised Ordinances of the City of Attleboro, I hereby request your honorable body to approve expending of such funds and any future grant amendments. Copies in your packet.
Personnel, Veterans, and Human Services, please.
Thank you. I respectfully request your honorable body to transfer $2,190 from account 1124100-578300 Citywide Reserve Fund for transfer to account 1124100-578020 Citywide bills from previous years in order to reimburse an employee for successfully completing courses enrolled in during fiscal year 2021. Upon approval, the available balance in reserve fund for transfer will be $35,393.26.
Thank you. Budget and Appropriations, please.
Thank you. In conjunction with Section 10-418, permanent speed humps, speed cushions, adopted 10/1/2019 and amended 5/18/2021 of the revised ordinances of the City of Attleboro, I respectfully submit for recommendation the placement of a permanent speed hump on Claflin Street. The requirements for this request have been followed and are included. Upon approval, I hereby request your honorable body vote the following amendment to Section 10-418. Add the following section, 10-4.18E. The following streets are designed as having speed humps, speed cushions, and the city is hereby authorized and directed to erect and maintain speed humps, speed cushions. Add the following in proper alphabetical order: Claflin Street. Copies in your packets.
Traffic and Transportation. And Councilor Bennett, would you like to call for a public hearing on February 15th?
Yes, please, thank you.
Okay. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay. It will be a roll call vote, starting with Councilor DeSimone.
Yes.
Councilor DeSimone. Yes.
Oh, forgive me, Madam Clerk.
Quite all right.
You're excited about it. That's great.
You know how I get.
Councilor Dolan. Excuse me. Councilor Angelo. I'm going up
Yes.
backwards. Councilor Reynolds.
Yes.
Councilor Holmes.
Yes.
Vice President Cobus.
Yes.
Councilor Bennett.
Yes.
Councilor Conti.
Yes.
Councilor Dolan.
Yes.
Councilor Waterman.
Yes.
Mr. President Delicio.
Yes.
10 yeas, 0 nays, motion passes.
Great. Thank you.
Welcome. All right, there's one more to read. Number 12. I respectfully submit for confirmation by your honorable body the following reappointments for the positions and for the terms as indicated. Andrew Acosta to the Municipal Building Commission for a term of 3 years. Term expires February 2025. Kurt Wheaton to the Council on Aging, a 4-year term. Term to expire February 2026. Karen Hammond, Council on Aging, 4-year term. Term to expire February 2026. Sandy Varia, Zoning Board of Appeals, a 3-year term. Term to expire February 2025. Bonnie Moore, Conservation Commission, term of 3 years. Term to expire February 2025. Diane Mangiarotti to the Board of Library Trustees, a 3-year term. Term to expire February 2025. And Judith Lusk to the Board of Library Trustees, a 3-year term. Term to expire February 2025.
Personnel, Veterans, and Human Services, please.
Sincerely, Paul Perot, Mayor.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. And now we'll go on to a reading of the clerk's communication.
Thank you. I have one communication for this evening, and that is a Class 2 application to change the name of Automax Pre-Owned at 800 Washington Street. Excuse the way that I pronounce this, because I may not pronounce his name correctly, and I apologize, to the Blasey Auto Group with 10 customer parking spaces and 100 storage spaces.
Refer to the License Committee, please.
Thank you, and a public hearing is required.
Okay, and Council Waterman, would you like to call for a public hearing on February 15th?
Yes.
Second?
And we'll have a roll call vote, beginning with Mr. Waterman.
Council Waterman.
Yes.
Council Dolan.
Yes.
Council Conti.
Yes.
Council Bennett.
Yes.
Vice President Cobus.
Yes.
Council Holmes.
Yes.
Council Reynolds.
Yes.
Council Angelo.
Yes.
Council DeSimone.
Yes.
President Delicio.
Yes.
10 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you, and that is all we have for communications.
That is
And I would
correct.
entertain a motion to go into Committee of the Whole.
Second?
Thank you. We'll take a roll call vote, beginning with Councilor DeSimone.
Council DeSimone.
Yes.
Thank you. Council Angelo.
Yes.
Council Reynolds.
Yes.
Council Holmes.
Yes.
Vice President Cobus.
Yes.
Council Bennett.
Yes.
Council Conti.
Yes.
Council Dolan.
Yes.
Council Waterman.
Yes.
10 yeas, 0 nays.
Madam Clerk? Yes?
Yes, oh, Council President.
Sorry, no worries.
Mr. President Delicio. I always forget you.
No worries. I'm forgettable.
I gotta put you closer on the list.
Is there anyone who would like to address the council on any piece of city business? I see there's no one here in person. Mr. Jones, do we have anyone online?
No.
Thank you. I entertain a motion to arise from Committee of the Whole.
Second?
We will have a roll call vote, beginning with Councilor Waterman.
Yes.
Council Waterman.
Yes.
Thank you. Council Dolan.
Yes.
Council Conti.
Yes.
Council Bennett.
Yes.
Vice President Cobus.
Yes.
Council Holmes.
Yes.
Council Reynolds.
Yes.
Councilor Angelo.
Yes.
Council DeSimone.
Yes.
President Delicio.
Yes.
10 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you. We will now go into committee reports, and we will start with Council Waterman.
Council Waterman.
The License Committee does not have any business this evening.
Can you call for a meeting at the next time, please?
We'll call for a meeting for next appropriate time.
Thank you, Council Waterman. Councilor Dolan.
Public Works has no business this evening and call for a committee meeting at the next appropriate time.
Thank you, Councilor Conti.
Thank you, Mr. President. Reporting for Capital Improvements and City Development Committee, we have 2 motions to bring before the council this evening, both from the docket of January 4th, 2022.
Point of order, Councilor Conti, I don't believe that they're on the docket. Are they the 2 pieces that you voted out last week?
Correct.
So we had the committee meeting last week, and then we went into the special meeting?
That's correct. It's okay. We can hold them off.
I just want to gain confirmation that they were already voted. I believe they were.
They were?
I believe they were. If you want, we can entertain take a quick recess, and I can check with Virginia.
Okay.
Okay. Can I have a second for?
Second.
Okay. Roll call vote beginning with Councilor DeSimone.
Counselor DeSimone?
Yes.
Counselor Angelo?
Yes.
Counselor Reynolds?
Yes.
Counselor Holmes?
Yes.
Vice President Cobus?
Yes.
Counselor Bennett?
Yes.
Counselor Conti?
Yes.
Counselor Dolan?
Yes.
Counselor Waterman?
Yes.
10 yeas, 0 nays. Oops, I missed. President Delicio.
Yes. We are in recess. We'll come back in 5 minutes. The Attleboro Municipal Council back to order at 7:37. Council Conti, we did receive the clarification. Those two pieces of business were voted out last week. I do appreciate the attention to detail on this, just ensuring that they were voted, so thank you for that.
So, Mr. President, I have no business to report for the Capital Improvement and City Development Committee. We'd like to have a meeting at the next regularly scheduled time.
Thank you, Councilor Conti. Councilor Bennett.
Yes, Traffic and Transportation Committee has no business for the council this evening. We call for a meeting at the next appropriate time.
And while we have you, would you like to read the business for public safety and emergency management?
I certainly will.
Thank you.
From the docket of January 4th, 2022, I move to appropriate $18,250.95 from account 1000359,000 undesignated fund balance, free cash, general government, to account 121-01000-515030, police sick leave incentive, to pay contractual sick leave stipends.
Second.
Thank you. Motion is in order. Any comments, questions, concerns?
No comments.
Okay. Do we have any from the council? Seeing none, we'll have a roll call vote beginning with Councilor Waterman.
Counselor DeSimone.
Councilor DeSimone.
Counselor DeSimone.
Yes.
Counselor Angelo.
Yes.
Counselor Reynolds.
Yes.
Counselor Holmes.
Yes.
Vice President Cobus.
Yes.
Counselor Bennett.
Yes.
Counselor Conti.
Yes.
Counselor Dolan.
Yes.
Counselor Waterman.
Yes.
President Delicio.
Yes.
10 yeas, 0 nays. Motion passes.
Thank you. Motion passes. Councilor Bennett.
That concludes the business for the Public Safety and Emergency Management Committee. We call for a meeting at the next appropriate time.
Thank you, and I appreciate you and Council Reynolds working together in Council Blair's absence. Wishing him a speedy recovery. He's feeling a little under the weather today. Let's see. Vice President Cobus.
Budget, reporting for the Budget Committee. We don't have any business tonight. Call for committee meeting at the next appropriate time.
Thank you. Councilor Holmes.
Thank you. Reporting from Zoning and Land Use Committee, there's no business this evening, but we'll call for a committee meeting at the next appropriate time.
Thank you. Councilor Reynolds.
City Property Plans Committee has no business this evening, but I would like to call a committee meeting at the next appropriate time.
Thank you. Councilor Angelo.
Personal Veterans and Human Service Committee has no business this evening, but request at the next available time on 125 at 6:15.
Okay. And will you have guests coming that
I will
time?
have guests.
Very good.
Lots of guests.
6:15 makes sense then. Thank you, Councilor Angelo.
Thank you, sir.
And Councilor DeSimone.
Yes, thank you. Ordinances, elections, and legislative matters has one order of business for this evening, if I may, from the docket of January 4, 2022, although it's not January 4, it's, what's today? The 18th.
18th.
I move to call for a public hearing on February 15, 2022 for the special act to amend the city charter, Section 1, Section 3-8A, vacancy in the office of mayor special election.
Second.
Motion is in order. Councilor DeSimone.
This is warranted under our rules of procedure. It's also a matter, I think, of good government and transparency, so I think it's appropriate to call for a public hearing in this instance.
And thank you for your work in looking and cross-referencing the rules of procedure. I think that was important, so thank you for that. Any other questions, thoughts, concerns? Seeing none, we'll have a roll call vote, beginning with Councilor Waterman.
Councilor Waterman.
Yes.
Councilor Dolan.
Yes.
Councilor Conti.
Yes.
Councilor Bennett.
Yes.
Vice President Cobus.
Yes.
Councilor Holmes.
Yes.
Councilor Reynolds.
Yes.
Councilor Angelo.
Yes.
Councilor DeSimone.
Yes.
Council President Delicio.
Yes.
10 yeas, 0 nays, motion passes.
Thank you, motion passes.
Thank you, and that concludes the business of the Ordinances, Elections, and Legislative Matters Committee. We look forward to a meeting at the next appropriate time, please.
Thank you, Councilor DeSimone. There is no new business. We have several pieces of new business for which I will recognize Councilor Dolan.
Thank you. From the docket of February 18, 2022, I move to refer for study and recommendation the following: to add no parking on the southerly side of East Street, 510 feet from O'Neill Boulevard.
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Cobus. Motion is in order.
So just to give a little info, I had received some issues from Blinds and Roads, the company down there. It's a little setback, you might not notice it, but anyway, they have a big black gate and they have deliveries all the time, big trucks and their own trucks. And when people park on both sides of the road, around his gate and on the other side of the road, the delivery trucks can't get in and his own trucks, they can't make the turn. So what I did was I picked the side that really has no homes and it's kind of, more industrial down there. So on that southerly side to O'Neill Boulevard, there's really not much there, but he does have issues with people parking on both sides and he can't get any vehicles in there. So that's the reason for this new business.
Okay. Thank you, Councilor Dolan. Do we have any other questions, thoughts, concerns? Seeing none, we'll have a roll call vote, beginning with Councilor DeSimone.
Councilor DeSimone.
Yes.
Councilor Angelo.
Yes.
Councilor Reynolds.
Yeah.
Councilor Holmes.
Yes.
Vice President Cobus.
Yes.
Councilor Bennett.
Yes.
Councilor Conti.
Yes.
Councilor Dolan.
Yes.
Councilor Waterman.
Yes.
President Delicio.
Yes.
10 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you. That'll go to Traffic and Transportation. For the second piece of business, we'll recognize Councilor DeSimone.
Thank you. From the docket of January 18, 2022, I move the following to be referred for study and recommendation to amend Chapter 10-4.11, isolated stop signs of the revised ordinances as follows. Delete westbound drivers on Bliss Avenue at Bourne Avenue and replace with eastbound and westbound on Bliss Avenue and Bourne Avenue.
Second.
Motion is in order. Any comments, Councilor DeSimone?
Very briefly, there were two items when when the last term ended that I promised the Traffic Study Committee that I would take care of. This is one of them, and I forget the origin of this particular item. I don't know if Council Bennett, if you know, but I forget the origin of it, but it's kind of self-explanatory. There was one stop sign going one way and not another one, so it makes sense to have both there. So the group recommended it, and I promised that I would move it forward.
Excellent. And we will have a roll call vote. Any other questions or comments on that, team? All right, seeing none, we will have a roll call vote with Council Waterman.
Council Waterman.
Yes.
Council Dolan.
Yes.
Council Conti.
Yes.
Council Bennett.
Yes.
Vice President Kobus.
Yes.
Council Holmes.
Yes.
Council Reynolds.
Yes.
Council Angelo.
Yes.
Council DeSimone.
Yes.
President Delicio.
Yes.
10 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you. Motion passes, and that will be referred to traffic as well. For this, I will recognize Vice President Kobus.
Thank you, President Delicio. From the docket of January 18th, 2022, to be referred to study and recommendation to merge budget and appropriations with capital improvement to form one committee called Budget and Capital Improvements Committee.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Council Holmes. Vice President Kobus, any comments?
I'll defer to you, President Delicio.
Sure, thank you for that. So this is something that I think makes sense. I think there's so much symmetry between budget and appropriations and the Capital Improvements Committee that it would make sense to roll them up under one umbrella, just to make it a little more seamless during both capital improvement and budget. So that's essentially it at this point. Do we have any other questions, comments, concerns on this? Okay, seeing none, we will have a roll call vote, beginning with Councilor DeSimone.
Council DeSimone.
Yes.
Council Angelo.
Yes.
Council Reynolds.
Yes.
Council Holmes.
Yes.
Vice President Kobus.
Yes.
Council Bennett.
Yes.
Council Conti.
Yes.
Council Dolan.
Yes.
Council Waterman.
Yes.
President Delicio.
Yes,
10 yeas, 0 nays, motion passes.
thank you. That will be referred to Personnel, Veterans, and Human Services. And we'll recognize Vice President Kobus for the last piece of new business.
From the docket of January 18th, 2022, to be referred for study and recommendation to add a new committee called IT and Infrastructure Committee.
Second.
Any comments, Vice President?
Again, defer to you, President Delicio.
Sure. So if the Budget and Appropriations Committee ends up merging with Capital Improvement, that will leave a hole with the committees. The new committee would be focusing on anything to do with IT and infrastructure, anything that comes down. Over the last several years, we've seen how much of the IT and infrastructure has changed given the way technology is used. So I think where we're at in this day and age, this makes sense. Any other questions, comments, concerns? Councilor Conti.
Mr. President, could you just clarify in my mind how this does not interfere with administration?
It's because just like any other piece of business that comes in front of the council, it needs to be referred to a committee. This way here, it will help us keep track of an awful lot of the piecemeal replacements we've seen over the last year and a half, such as computers for the fire department, computers for the library, a server here, a server there, replacement of the network there. This isn't going to be designed to interfere with the administration in any way, shape, or form, but yet continue to bring clarity and move the city along from the IT standpoint.
Excellent. Thank you, Mr. President.
You're quite welcome. Councilor DeSimone.
Inasmuch as the committees are defined by the rules of procedure,
Yes.
I'm wondering, are you going to reconvene a committee on the special rules, on the rules of procedure to make these changes? Because that's where they would live.
Per our conversation, yes. We will be doing that at some point. I'm not prepared to do that this evening. In the interim, both of these changes will go to Personnel, Veterans, and Human Services, where they can have the discussion as well and still go through to change the rules. It doesn't necessarily have to come through that committee, but the special committee, I think, would help to streamline.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions or concerns? Seeing none, we'll have a roll call vote beginning with Mr. Waterman.
Council Waterman.
Yes.
Council Dolan.
Yes.
Council Conti.
Yes.
Council Bennett.
Yes.
Vice President Kobus.
Yes.
Council Holmes.
Yes.
Council Reynolds.
Yes.
Councilor Angelo.
Yes.
Counsel DeSimone?
Yes.
President Delicio?
Yes.
10 yeas, 0 nays, motion passes.
Thank you. There is no new business. Before we adjourn, just want to again thank everyone who's in person with us. Thank Councilor Conti, Councilor Reynolds, and Councilor Dolan for joining us via Zoom tonight. That being said, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
We'll have a roll call vote beginning with Councilor DeSimone.
Counsel DeSimone?
Yes.
Counsel Angelo?
Yes.
Counsel Reynolds?
Yes.
Counsel Holmes?
Yes.
Vice President Cobus?
Yes.
Counsel Bennett?
Yes.
Counsel Conti?
Yes.
Counsel Dolan?
Yes.
Counsel Waterman?
Yes.
President Delicio?
Yes.
10 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you, and we are adjourned at 7:50 PM. Thank you, and have a great night, everyone.
Thank you.